We are back. Tales from the Cassette. This is our episode number 4. So we have moved beyond the trilogy. We are at number 4 now. So I'm Jeff Beach.
I'm Joey Graves.
All right. And today we are going to talk about our favorite concerts. I am pretty sure that at least one concert we attended together. I'm guessing that most of the other favorites we did not attend together. So there's going to be some surprises here.
You may be surprised.
I may be surprised. Okay.
You may
All
be
right.
surprised.
May be surprised. Okay. We are not together tonight for the first time. We are recording this apart remotely. So we're not in the same room, though it always looked like we were different places. We were always right across from each other. So this is new for us. And just bear with us. So we have not seen each other today like we normally have. We have not caught up. How's your week going?
Good. It's going well. Going to a conference tomorrow. Woo.
Nice. I was in one of your favorite places this past weekend in Madison, Indiana.
Hinkles.
Mm-hmm. I did not go there, though. We did not make it there.
Oh.
Now, I was told, I don't know if this is blasphemy or not, but I was told Shipley's might be a better burger.
Well, that's what our friend Richard has shared with me. And I took Richard to Shipley's to have a burger. I would rather go to Hinkles.
Okay. We did. We tried to go to Shipley's, was there with family. It was actually a funeral, but celebrating a 97-year-old grandmother's good life.
Yeah.
And we tried to go to Shipley's and it was too crowded. Couldn't get in the door. So holiday weekend though, that's fine. Yeah, holiday weekend. All right. Well, let's jump in. Let's talk about our concerts. And before we get into our favorites, I think each one of us have 4 or 5 to talk about. Let's talk about your last concert you attended.
Last concert I attended was, wow, I guess it was a Kiss Enter the Road tour in 23.
In Dayton, Ohio, right?
Yes, in 23.
Yep.
With my son. My son at the time was 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 9 or 10. And it was his first concert. And my first concert was Kiss. So that was my last concert.
Last one. Okay. My last show was here in Cincinnati. Went to see a more up and coming band called the 502s. And they are, I saw their description, and I guess it's probably the best way. They're almost like a Lumineers type band. Like they call themselves like beach yacht rock. And they're a lot of fun. If you haven't heard them, go listen to a couple songs off Spotify. I saw them at Bogart's here in Cincinnati. They were very good. Went with a bunch of people.
Well.
We have seen them twice now. So, all right, let's jump into our list. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do our favorite concerts. You want to go first? What did we say, 4 or 5?
Well, I have 5.
Okay. All right. Well, what's your?
Does it mean I have to do 5?
Okay. What's your number 5?
Kiss, Hot in the Shade, 1991, Carbondale, Illinois.
I was there for that.
And you were there.
I was there. Who opened for them in that show?
Winger. No, it was Vixen.
Vixen, yeah.
Vixen and Winger, I think.
Vixen and Winger.
Vixen and
You're
Winger.
right.
Yeah.
I remember that show, mainly because of the Sphinx on stage.
Set list was great.
Set list was great.
I have a lot of memories of that because my roommate and I at the time, Rick Winders, we took off one Friday night and went to Carbondale the night before the tickets went on sale. And we did not sleep the entire night waiting for tickets to go on sale. So
back in the day,
I have a memory of that whole concert. So
back in the day,
at the time,
when
I took a girlfriend there. We had floor seats. middle of the floor, great seats.
Yeah. Back in the day when before the Ticketmaster online purchasing, had to go to the box
Yes.
office. Go to the back. That was a great show. I remember that show. I remember going to Carbondale for that show. I think that I had seen the Asylum tour before that. Saw that show. I can't remember if I saw them again on the next tour,
Revenge.
Revenge.
I did.
You did, okay. Well, that was a good
Hot
show.
in the
I
Shade
remember
was
that.
superior.
That was good. I remember that from them playing a bunch of the older music that they hadn't been playing for a while.
Well, they opened the set with "I Stole Your Love,"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which
One
was
of my,
not very common.
no.
So, and they had a top 10 hit at the time, "Forever."
Yep.
Um, they just played a lot of deep cut songs, and they played for was it probably 2.5 hours,
Super
like
long.
27 songs. It was great with a lot of pyrotechnics, a lot of energy. It was great.
All right. My number 5 is I saw Elton John a few years ago here in Cincinnati. Great show. Elton doesn't move like he does in the days when you used to see him jump on the piano. So he pretty much sits at the piano, plays his stuff, and then he gets up, waves to the crowd, and he sits back down and he plays the next thing. But he's very energetic. He just is not jumping around the stage anymore. So saw him here at Coliseum downtown, whatever they call it now. So crappy arena, good show, very entertaining.
Some, Something very much along those lines is I had the opportunity to see Ray Charles twice
Nice.
at Belterra Casino,
Yeah.
and Ray Charles literally had to be escorted to the piano. Of course,
Yeah.
he's blind. He was blind. He's dead now,
Yeah.
but he was escorted to the piano, but he could barely move, shuffling his feet, looked like he was 100-year-old man. And when he got to the piano, he came alive.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like slapping his leg and just you know a lot of movement and singing songs. And then at the end, he was escorted away from the piano, and he looked like a 100-year-old man again.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I got to see a legend, So
Yeah. That's how I would describe that. Elton sat, did his stuff, very energetic at the piano, but he wasn't moving much beyond that
yep.
realm. Yeah. Okay. You're number 4.
My number 4. For I remember, like I was thinking back of what gave me goosebumps.
Okay.
What shows gave me goosebumps? And I'll have to go back to the Kiss reunion of 1996. It was a second show. Detroit was first. Louisville, Kentucky was second. And just seeing the 4 original members, especially during Deuce,
Yeah.
when they do that dance, the choreographed dance. I got goosebumps. I mean, it was so cool to see them back together. So
I saw
that's
that
up there.
tour. Yeah, I saw that tour in Cincinnati, and I don't know why I didn't come to Louisville or go see that with anybody, but I saw that one by myself in Cincinnati. So I had 2 tickets, and Diane didn't want to go, and so I sold one, and the person who bought it sat next to me, and I went by myself, and it was a good show. Yeah, very good. Now my number 4 is Billy Joel in Cincinnati as well. So this was a couple years ago. um, in the Red Stadium, Great American Ballpark. And so he was on the
Mm-hmm.
field, had his big stage on the field. I'd seen Billy Joel 30 years ago, and he was really good then. So this is the first time I've seen him since then. And it was just a very, very entertaining show. And the one thing I remember about this show, his songs were good, his band was amazing. And he let his band jam, which you don't see that out of like an artist like that very often. He would let his band just go during some of his songs. His saxophone player and some of the other players, he would just let them rock it out during his songs. And I thought that was cool.
Hmm.
Good show. Okay. You're number 3.
Well, in the year 2000, I was a single guy,
Mm-hmm.
and Richard, our mutual friend Richard, and I went to see Poison, Cinderella, Dawkins, and Slaughter
Oh my.
at Louisville Gardens. General admission. We were second row center. Well, there were no seats on the floor. We were second. There was a short girl in front of me, thank God. Short girl in front of me, and then I was behind her. So I had an unobstructed view of the stage. And I can tell you that I never was a big Cinderella fan until that concert.
That was good.
And then right after that concert, I bought Cinderella's greatest hits. They were fantastic live.
So
And
Cinderella, Poison, Dokken, and who was the other?
it was Poison was the headliner.
Okay.
Cinderella, Dawkins, and Slaughter.
Oh, that's a good show.
It was fantastic.
That's a good
Other
show.
than having to stand I literally stood on my feet. Oh, a good 4 to 5 hours on concrete in one spot. Because you couldn't go, you couldn't leave.
Right.
If you left, you would have to find your way back through the crowd to get back to where you once were. So there was no way.
How was Slaughter?
They were good. I had seen them before open up for Kiss on the Hot in the Shade tour.
Uh-huh.
I remember my memory of Slaughter is that Mark walked through the crowd. And he went way into the crowd and up the steps on the side of the arena, and sang from there and gave everybody high fives and everything. So, but that was my memory of Slaughter. I don't remember Dawkins whatsoever. I like Dawkins, but I don't remember. It's not memorable at all. But Poison and Cinderella were really good, really good.
Nice. My number 3 is U2. So I saw U2 twice in the last. This was a U2 show in 2017. I saw them twice in 2017. I saw them in Louisville at Papa John Stadium, football stadium. And then I saw them not long after in the fall in Indy at whatever they're calling that now, Lucas Oil or whatever they're calling their football field.
Yeah.
And that was great. We had general admission floor seats. And so we were right down on the floor. And that was just an amazing concert. And I've never been a huge U2 fan. And the experience of seeing them like that on the ground like that was awesome. They had a huge stage set. The music was great. They're very, it was just very, their musicianship was awesome. Now I saw them this past year in the Sphere, and
you saw them there?
Mm-hmm. Oh. I actually enjoyed the show in Indy probably more than I did the Sphere. I thought the Sphere was, it was what it was. It was kind of cool with the screen and all of that, but just for the music part of it, I enjoyed Indy better. Yeah.
But it was cool. Probably the screen is probably a bit distracting.
Yeah.
Yeah. because
And but it was cool when they just projected the band on the screen, because then their faces were like our faces right now. Like I could see his lines, like I can see my lines. So that's my number 3.
oh,
Number
my
2 for you.
my number 2, you were also there.
Wow.
So see, you've been to
2 of them at least.
2 of the 4 so far. I saw, or we saw, the Rembrandts at
Oh,
Bogart's.
yes.
The Rembrandts before Friends theme,
Yes.
which who that totally ruined the band. It was the album before.
Yep.
Um, I can't remember the name of the album. Red cover. Anyway,
Yep.
um,
I'm gonna look it up.
Rembrandt's. I got on stage with between Phil Solemn and Danny Wilde. Put my arms around them. We sang a Rolling Stones tune. Me and a bunch of other people got up on stage. I have a couple of pics from the concert, but I am a sucker for cellos and violins and stand up bass.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember that, but they brought a celloist out. I had 3 people: a celloist, a violinist, and a bassist, stand up bass,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic. It was the sound was just wonderful, and again that gave me goosebumps. So again, that's what it touched me, and I still remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah. Great band. I know what you mean about the Friends thing. Their first album was called The Rembrandts.
Well, this was a second album
Oh, okay. Second album. Second album is not showing on Spotify.
that has Johnny. Have you seen her?
Oh, yeah. You know what? It's called on Spotify. It's called Untitled. So maybe they didn't title it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great band. I remember that. That was a great show.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
yeah
they did
that
their
was
Friend song.
that freaking Friends theme ruined them. I hated. They, I will.
They did. They didn't do
One of
much after
my,
that.
if we talk about one of the worst concerts, I saw Friends, or I saw the Rembrandts when they were touring later after the Friends, excuse me, Friends theme was released as a
Yeah.
single at the Kentucky State Fair for free. And they had lost all passion for music at that point. And it was that stupid song. I mean, it's a good song, but it was played way too much. But
All right.
that really killed them.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
agree. I agree. They were a great band. I remember discovering them in college with you, and they were great. Well, I'll do my number 2, and then we'll do the worst after that before we do our favorite. So my number 2, I saw in 2022, another one here in Cincinnati. I saw Journey, and Toto opened up for them, and I'd seen Journey before a lot in the past, and they, I always think they're pretty good anyways, but I felt on this tour, and they're still on this same tour sort of with the same set and the same set
yeah.
list. They toured with Toto, and I forget who, they're on the road with Def Leppard now in stadiums. But I saw the beginning of this tour, and I thought they were so on. Now they can't get along at all, but I think during that show, they're so good, and the other band members they've got with them now just add to it. Their drummer is amazing, and quite frankly might be the best singer in the band. But I just think their whole thing right now, they're just so on. I hope they figure out their band issues, because when they're in concert, they're just tight.
Well, they're I think first and foremost they're musicians.
Yep.
I mean, I saw Toto 12 years ago, 11 years ago, something like that. And they were fantastic. They were
Uh-huh.
really good. But
Yeah.
yeah, they are great musicians, no doubt about
Um,
it.
but yeah, and then all right, well, let's do the worst.
All right. One
You
or
want?
two?
I have one. I'll do mine.
Okay, I have one.
Okay.
I have one that really comes to mind.
Okay, I have one. So, at a show I saw Journey. It was a Journey show, but they were fine. Journey was good. They Heart opened for Journey one summer at Riverbend, and they were awesome. I can remember being in the crowd listening to it and thinking, "Wow, they are really on!" And they were sounded so good, so energetic. They came around the next year, and they played at a smaller venue over at Riverbend, and so they were headlining. And so I convinced Diane and some friends to go with us and said they were so great last year, so fun. That day it was like 100 degrees and it was miserable. And I think they were miserable, and you could tell they did
Mm.
not want to be there. They had released an album that year, and they were playing a bunch of stuff from that. But if you can just watch a band on stage and kind of tell if they're engaged or not, they did not have any intention of wanting to be there at all that day.
But 30 years ago, 40 years ago, they were hot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Both of them.
Both of them. Yeah.
Both of them.
They did not want to be playing that day, and you could tell. And I mean, I get it. I mean, they're outside. It was 100, they're in their stuff, but it was just, it was kind of like it was such a letdown after seeing them the year before and how good
How
they
many?
were.
When was that?
That would have been probably around 14 or 15,
Hmm.
2014, 15,
I
10
know.
years ago.
I know there for a while they were not even speaking.
Mm-hmm. It was before that.
Okay. Right
All
before
right.
that?
Before that. What was your worst?
My worst was also a concert that I attended at the Kentucky State Fair. So it was Firehouse, Quiet Riot, and Warrant.
Ooh.
Firehouse was fantastic. And then Quiet Riot came on and Warrant came on, and they were great. Quiet Riot was absolutely horrible. They literally sounded like they went directly from somebody's garage to the stage. It was bad, like really bad.
What
I mean,
year?
Firehouse and Warrant just kicked them. They were those two bands were fantastic, but I don't know if it was the sound mix or what, but it was horrible. And so much so that I was talking to Richard, who went with me. He's like, what? They just need to call it a day. I mean, just give it up. It was bad.
How long ago was that show?
Oh, man. I would say it was late 90s.
Okay.
Late 90s, right around 2000. But
All right.
yeah, I had opportunities to see Quiet Riot again after that.
Nope.
Nope. Not again.
All right. What's your number one?
I think you know what number one is.
Yeah. It's my number one.
It was Kiss.
Yeah.
End of the Road. February 16th, I believe, 2020.
2020.
1 month before the pandemic was official.
Yep.
We had 16th row on Paul's side. We felt the heat off the flames.
Mm-hmm.
Paul flew right over our heads. All the pyrotechnics. It was a sold out show. It was high energy. It was fantastic. My favorite
I
show.
Yeah, I love that show. I've seen them obviously double digit times. I think, and I saw them again on the same tour like you did. And I just thought the night you and I saw them again, they were on. They were into it. They were into the crowd, and the crowd was into them. You know, they looked like they were just having fun up there. Um, and again, I think you can tell when the band's having a good time, and I think they were just having a great time. I mean, the seats helped; we were right there,
Yep.
but I thought they sounded great. They looked great. They were having fun with the crowd. That is my number one as well. Such great memories from that concert. And when we first talked about it, and we were going to drive several hours to Fort Wayne, I thought we were crazy, and it
In
was
February.
well worth it. Yeah,
Traveled
well worth it.
north, and I don't know. I remember it was quite cold,
Yes,
probably 15 to 20 degrees.
it was
Yeah.
cold. Yeah,
Yep.
but worth it.
Oh
Worth it.
yeah, totally worth it.
Totally worth it. All right. Well, that's a great list. I knew that we'd match at least that one in there. I figured that might be your number one. Um, who is a band you haven't seen that you want to see?
Hmm. Wow. Well, you know I would say Journey,
Mm-hmm.
but with Steve Perry.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
mean that's other than I mean I think every band that I would want to see,
mm-hmm.
they're not original members
Right.
by this point. I mean, we're dead.
Right.
I mean, like I had an opportunity to see the Monkees, but it was only three of the four.
Yeah.
I never got to see all four of them, and that would have been great. Did That was also at the Kentucky State Fair, um, probably in 94, 95. Um, even like Toto,
Mm-hmm.
the drummer's dead.
Right.
They're hell, I think one's uh, was arrested for porn, child porn or something. I don't know what it was, something to do
Yeah.
with something wrong.
Yeah.
Um, but to see them in their heyday would have been fantastic. To see
Oh yeah.
Journey back in the early to mid '80s would have been something. I just
Uh,
didn't appreciate them at the time.
right.
But with age, I've learned to appreciate their music, and I look back, think, why didn't I go see them?
I had a chance to go see Fleetwood Mac intact, all of them, and I didn't go. And then probably not too far around that same time frame. So this would have been 4 or 5 years ago. I had a chance to go see Tom Petty
Mm,
before he passed away. I had tickets to the show and couldn't go. I should have made more of an effort. You know, you're thinking, I can't go. I'll go next time. I'll catch him next time. And then there became no next time.
right.
That is one that I'm really sad that I missed.
There is one coming up in Cincinnati. I wouldn't mind to go and see
Who's that?
ELO.
Oh, yeah. That's
But again, it's Jeff Lynne.
right.
Maybe ELO has always been Jeff Lynne. So
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing. Like, Styx is touring. They're supposed to be really good together. They're supposed to sound good. It's tough with me. I wish Dennis DeYoung was still there.
yeah,
Yeah.
did we see Sticks together at Riverbend?
We
It was
might
Bad
have.
Company and Sticks.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I've seen Bad Company.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. I think it was Billy Squire, Bad Company, and Sticks. We missed Billy Squire. Got there late and saw Bad Company and Sticks, but it was without Dennis DeYoung.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's our show. That's a good show. Favorite concerts. I'm going to put some pictures in, so hopefully that'll look good with our show. Next show, we'll see. We were talking beforehand, maybe a one-hit wonder show, which will be a lot of fun. I'm reading a book on MTV. If we do one-hit wonders, I'll bring that on because they contributed a lot to that phenomenon.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
I could put together a hell of a list for that.
Yes, that would be a good one. That would be good. Right in our heyday. Right in our heyday. All right. With that, we're going to sign off. Thanks for listening. Remember, we have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And our podcast is located on YouTube and Spotify.
Like, share, comment.
Share and share again.
Tell us what you want a future episode to be.
Yep. All right. Thanks for listening.
Or even better, even tell us your top 5 concerts of all time. Because I'd like to know.
Yep. All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.